Nebraska just made a big move by going after the #1 ranked offensive guard in the transfer portal. So in today's video, I'm going to break down that situation. We're going to go over who this guy is, what he brings to the table, what does this mean for the Cornhuskers, and inevitably, will Nebraska and Matt Rhule land his talent? So real quick, please hit the like button if you're excited about this recruit, along with subscribing to the channel. It's officially transfer portal season, so if you want to stay up to date with everything Huskers, or you just want to help me hit 3,000 subs here on the Will Stimmet Sports page, please hit that sub button. But let's just dive right into it, talking about this recruit in Nebraska in the transfer portal. This guy goes by the name of Jason Zandamela, and if you're not familiar with him at all, he was the #1 ranked guard recruit in the class of 2023, offers all over the country: Alabama, Georgia, Florida State, Florida. I mean, just to name a few. But he ended up committing to USC. He spent 1 year over there with the Trojans and then recently entered the transfer portal. And as of right now, he is ranked the #7 player in the entire country, and he's ranked the #1 available player in the entire transfer portal. So this is a guy who's 6'3", 300 pounds, complete brawler offensive guard. But how does Nebraska relate to this situation? It was reported late last night that the Huskers officially offered him, along with some other notable schools: Georgia, Florida, Miami, Auburn, UCF, right? So a couple other schools are in the mix there, but Nebraska also really trying to get his talent. So what is Jason Zandamela as a player? We have already established that he's a brawler. He's super talented, obviously top 50 recruit, but he's a guy who provides you flexibility. He plays guard and center, both of those positions. He can play at a very high level. Obviously, when he was at USC for 1 year, he did not play much. That's to be expected. He was a true freshman offensive lineman. But Matt Rhule obviously feels really good about him being a plug-and-play type of guy that can provide Nebraska depth in year one and then potentially be a starter after the first year. So that's really what he is as a player. And we talk about his ceiling, about as good as it gets. Clearly one of those players that if everything checks out, he's going to be a round 1 NFL draft pick when his time comes. So really, let's get to what this means for Nebraska before we dive into if I believe Nebraska will land this guy. This is big for Nebraska. It means two things. Number one, Matt Rhule is active in the portal. We know for a fact that the Huskers are actually over capacity on their scholarship players, but he's still going after talented guys. He's still trying to round out this roster. And number two, he isn't scared of adding more talent to a talented room. The O-line, I project to actually be one of the most, if not the best room in our entire team, right? Super talented. You feel really good about that starting five. You feel really good about the two deep as well. But Matt Rhule, he's very competitive, and he understands that this is a competitive team. It's a competitive nature, and you got to earn your spot. He's going to keep adding talent no matter what. He's going to keep adding the guys that he sees fit that can really provide this team an extra boost. And that's what you get here with Jason Zandamela. If you were to land his talents, you get a super, super gifted guy that can instantly contribute in that two deep. And again, people have just got to earn their spot. You can't complain. You just got to work harder. So Matt Rhule, very active in the transfer portal already and still trying to add guys, even in rooms that we feel pretty good about. So let's get into the conversation whether or not I believe Nebraska will land this guy. Obviously, there's a bunch of big names in the conversation with him. Obviously, Georgia, Florida, Florida State. To tell you the truth, I think it's going to be an uphill battle for the Cornhuskers. It should be noted that Dylan Raiola has followed him on multiple social media platforms, so Dylan Raiola might be peer recruiting him. And I say this all the time. Good players want to play with other good players, specifically good quarterbacks. Dylan Royola, one of the better peer recruiters in the country, so we'll see where that goes. But yeah, I probably don't think that he lands with the Cornhuskers, but I think it's a very big deal that Nebraska is going after guys of his caliber, even at that O-line spot, because it's going to set a theme for the next couple weeks. That even if we don't land this guy, again, I'm not saying we won't, but if we don't, we're going to go after a couple other O-linemen if they're talented enough, and not even just O-linemen, guys in the secondary, guys on defense. So watch out. Obviously, Nebraska They're getting busy, guys. They are getting busy as spring ball comes to a close. So watch out for the Cornhuskers to land a couple more faces to this roster. So that is this guy, Jason Zandamela, a guy to definitely watch out for Matt Rhule and Raiola going forward. Man, this would be a big boost to an already great offensive line group. So let me know down below if you're excited about this potential addition. Do you think the Cornhuskers land him? Are you feeling fine about this O-line room? Let me know all that down below. Hey, make sure to like and subscribe if you made it this far in the video. And as always, folks, go Big Red, go Matt Rhule, and see you in the next one.